What is going on? I'm zmoT. We've got the holiday Christmas music in the background. Gonna pick up that daily chest, little tiny bit of intel. Now, if you're looking for a task force, come join this one. I will personally comment on your attacks, let you know how you can get better, give you some tips, all that fun sort of stuff. Plus, the rest of the task force is just beastly. Anyways, we are going to have a look over to this far right-hand side. Gearhart is here. No idea if it's a hard one this week. If you've never had a solo on War Factory, like I believe Roy Kin, one of the YouTube subscribers, this is the one for you. This is the one to get your solo. All you have to do is literally walk up that right-hand side. Typically, there's rockets in here. There's only one, and look at that, does not even reach. So what I would do, actually, you know what? I'll show you 3 different attacks. We're going to do it with a low level first, and then I'll show you a max level with no smoke, and then a max level with smoke. So many different features, bringing you all of the things, just trying to be helpful. Now today, I am ridiculously grumpy, like beyond grumpy. So I'm going to try not to be super duper negative here, but a few things might slip out. So get your popcorn, get your salt, and we'll see what we can accomplish as a group. So 2 very easy hacks. I have tiny bits of gunboat energy. Actually, you know what? I might be able to, I don't think I'll have enough for 3 hacks. No, wouldn't have had enough gunboat energy. I mean, would have had enough, but not enough to get back to that shock launcher. So attack number 1 is in the books. Very easy, and there's nothing that's going to range your troops. So by all means, drop your troops on that right-hand side, farm some gunboat energy, but we are not going to do that because we don't need to. No need whatsoever. Now, my barrage on the headquarters was not super duper smart. I would call it beyond stupid, to be honest. Send it on those bottom flamethrowers instead. Anytime you see someone barrage the headquarters in an operation, unless the headquarters is just hanging on by a thread, not a great idea. So we're going to drop Everspark over here. I'm going to flare her up to here. And if you're wondering why I'm wasting a flare, I just don't have it in me to hit one of those boom mines. So today we are going well around, spending an extra flare just so I don't lose it. And then once we're out of the range of those boom mines, Everspark's going to do all of her goodness on that shock launcher, and then it's done. Like, there is literally nothing left to be done at this point, except for wasting some gunboat energy on those flamethrowers. Do make sure you throw your artillery on the corner of the flamethrower and the headquarters. That way you get not only the flamethrowers, but also some damage on the headquarters. And now, I mean, like, my kids who are terrible at Boom Beach could take this down at this point. There is no reason why any of my subscribers who have, or any of my newcomers who have watched even one of my videos shouldn't be able to take this down. So just like that, the flamethrowers are gone. We don't have any concerns here. I'm going to send Everspark in one more time just because why the heck not? We're going to flare that back flamethrower, and why we're going for the flamethrower is just because I find that when I'm playing Boom Beach, I do way better when all of my shocks are in front of me. So when I have to shock something behind my troops, things get a little bit wonky. So I like to try and get all my shocks to be out in front, and that is exactly why we're getting rid of those flamethrowers. Everything will be down in this neighborhood and don't have to worry about anything behind us. So little bit of a personal preference though, but I do find that my attacks go far better when I don't have to, like, I can zoom into here and just throw 2 shocks, like one on there and one on there, as opposed to if I have to shock something in behind me. So that is basically War Factory. You can just drop all your troops and clear up this entire right-hand side. We are maybe not going to do that, though. We'll see just how far we can go. We've got 2 attacks left, so I'm going to soften things up a little bit, just in an attempt to try and avoid spending some diamonds. Call me cheap if you'd like. Call me whatever the heck you want. But we're going to drop Everspark here. Then we're going to drop some zookas. I'm just going to keep spamming that critter swarm. And Mr. Perrins, if you're out there, would be so happy to see me using critter swarm because I use universal hack way too much. Critter swarm is a fantastic ability, and it should allow our zookas to walk through all of these cannons without losing any troops. And ideally, you put some rifles out front of your zookas because you get twice as many rifles as you do zookas, which allows them to act as a meat shield. Your meat shield doesn't have to have super amounts of health. It just has to keep your damage alive, and that is exactly what Rifle Zooka does. Rifle Zooka is designed for this base right here. But we don't want to spend some diamonds because we don't need to. If you're going to spend some diamonds, as per always, please consider throwing code zmoT into your shop, I should say, not into your task force. That join our task force group link just popped up. We've lost like 6 zookas at this point. We're just going to keep shocking all of the things, letting Everspark do her magic by pooping out all of those critters, and then just slowly but surely moving on forward. Don't call me Shirley. Is that like a Leslie Nielsen skit or something like that? Anyways, shocks are ridiculously cheap. I'm not sure if I actually boosted that tribe on this account or not, but as you can see here, we have cleared so many of the things, and now that we're retreating, I'm going to do exactly what I told you not to do, and that is throwing barrage onto that headquarters, because we're not going to be able to barrage those. So might as well. Very straightforward. Basically no smoke used. I would call that no smoke used. Some people might argue that, but those people are completely and utterly wrong. And the reason for that is, I mean, smoking one troop, anyone can do that. It doesn't matter if you're 59,000 years, I was going to say 59 years old, but 59-year-olds in our task force crush it. So let's go to like 85-year-olds. I feel like my grandma, who is 84, could probably smoke one troop. Yes. Anyways, bringing in some family trivia there. Let's come over here, get rid of these machine guns because they are the biggest risk at the moment. Flamethrowers aren't really a risk to zookas, let's be honest, simply because zookas outrange the flamethrowers for the most part. I mean, we've got too many zookas here, so they will not outrange that flamethrower, but we can get them in up close and personal, getting our critters out front, and then we can just clear all the way to the core. I have honestly never seen a war factory this well laid out, and you can tell by how much my shocks cost that I have not boosted that shock tribe, which is, actually, I don't even have tribes in this account, so I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. So this account does not have tribes. We are only HQ17. You need HQ18 just to get those 2 tribes. And those 2 tribes, don't get me wrong, are fantastic. That is one of the things that Supercell has done fairly darn well. They don't give you the ice tribe at HQ18, which would be absolutely terrible. They give you the 2 good tribes to start with. So although I crap on Supercell a fair amount, they did do a fairly good job when it comes to many features of the game. So down goes War Factory just like that. Very easy. If you are XP 37 or higher, that means you have Everspark level 2. I promise you can take this down. Give it a shot. Don't just farm cells or farm buildings. You can take this down. Next up, I'll be back in about 8 seconds or so. We're going to show you the stats on the troops just like that. Very terrible statues. 25% there, 25% there. Not awesome at all. As I try and find any opportunity, folks. Any opportunity to bust out the sad trombone. Gotta take advantage of that. Anyways, I'll be back in just a sec. Gotta go to the blank screen, otherwise you can steal my email login details. Forgot to turn off the sad trombone. That brings out the sad trombone in itself. So first of all, we are going to try to do something smart, and that is to just walk through all of this stuff very slowly, very carefully. Try to get the solo without using smoke, except for Everspark. We've already covered that bit. Let's get going. Now, I realize that my Warships videos get far more views than my War Factory videos, but there are still a vocal minority of you out there that say, please bring us the War Factory. And so that is why we are here. I know that War Factory, I am very, very late time zone wise, but I just feel like a bunch of you have asked, and I just can't. I'm terrible at saying no, to be completely honest. So that was almost a complete and utter failure right there, as Everspark decided she wanted to drop some critters instead of throwing the hack out. Tried to do the Houdini hack, but with the Houdini hack, you need to be a little bit careful as far as when you do the Houdini hack, because what happens is if you let her walk in some gappy smokes, she ends up wanting to drop critters, and that does not go super duper well. By the way, that Christmas music in the background, really, really hoping at some point they bring at least one more Beachmas tree. The Beachmas tree was just awesome, I gotta say. Anyways, Everspark dead. Rifles out front, zookas in behind. Now, I probably should have tried to save Everspark, but I was just a little bit concerned we wouldn't have enough time here, so we're going to drop critters instead. Don't get free critters. Now, I gotta say, for some reason, when Everspark first came out, just pop into my mind, everyone thought she was kind of useless, and then there was one video on Alamo where someone came in and hacked all of the things, and everyone's minds just absolutely exploded. So not entirely sure why that just popped into my head, but perhaps because we just let Everspark die. Everspark, one of the greatest weapons in Boom Beach, especially for low levels. If you are in a task force doing a decent level operation and you are XP 37 to 47 or so, please use Everspark before you drop your troops. Not sure why I'm talking about this, but like I said, I am blackout grumpy today. Not enough coffee in the world for me today, so already getting harassed on the Discords. So I feel like my content is a little bit more better. Yes, that's a term. When I'm a little bit grumpy. That might not always be the case. I know I try to keep a smile on my face that you can't see as much as possible, but today just feels like not the day for that. So anyways, we are, like I said, very easy solo. I don't feel like any max level player should have any difficulty soloing this. We are not using smoke. I think that's my first flare, and we are just cruising through all of this stuff. So if you're looking for that first solo, which I know a number of you have commented and said you're trying to get your first ever solo, this is the War Factory for you. Go get that solo. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know that you finally got it and how stoked you were. And just like that, zero smoke, zero skill, just get the right troops and down goes War Factory. The only way that's going to screw up is if your Everspark hacks don't go so well, but I have faith that all of you can get those smoke timers perfectly. So easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Hopefully all of your Christmas shopping is done. Mine is 99% done. I'm going to pause. We'll come back with a solo attempt with some smoke and some skill. Back in just a minute or two. Okay, we are back with this base. Let's have a look. I was going to use zookas just for the sake of using zookas for the old school appeal, but just trying to see if there's anything else that we could do. I mean, we could probably use even Scorchers or Warriors. I'm just going to use zookas, though. This is probably the most common zooka solo from back in the day, so we might as well just give it a shot. No scout, no problem. I'm going to drop an artillery right there. We are going to drop all of our zookas into... Let's go like... I just want to show... I'm going to go right into about there. All of the zookas. One smoke drop. Love, love, love that one smoke drop. I don't think we're going to lose any troops in the process. Troops getting underneath the smoke before anything can target them. And then just walking up. This walk is something that should be fairly straightforward. Just keep your smokes ever so slightly in front of your troops, and then we're going to go 1-2 smokes into the kill zone, always throwing your tertiary, or I always forget that word, smoke last. Basically throw your second last smoke first or last or something, and then we'll just shock all of these things and throw some more critters and throw another battle orders, and easy peasy. Like, nothing to it. If you're looking for a all-zuka solo, another good opportunity, especially with the cheap shocks. We might have lost like 2 zookas or something. Maybe 1, 2, 3 zookas, I think. Maybe 4, something along those lines. 3 zookas. Very, very simple. All-zuka solo. I'd say that it's super simple, but at the same time, I can control zookas fairly well. I know that's not always the case. We managed to get some defense somewhere. Let's watch that before we go away. That person, this base, I gotta say, do consider copying this base. I have a video where I created this base. Wow, hacking the boom cannons. Interesting. See that? They kept Everspark alive. Hacking that shock launcher, but of course the shock launcher doesn't die because it shocks all the things, and then they're about to run away. Just not a super great attack, my friend. You don't... Oh, they're coming... Interesting. Making things way more difficult than they needed to, but there's nothing hidden on this base. I don't have a hidden grappler or a doom cannon. I know I've got lots of trees back there, but there's nothing hidden. Also, they did not see any of these trees. They saw pines instead of mangroves. And my 4 max level rocket... Actually, not even max level, level 8. Just doing all of the damage, picking up all of the intel and diamonds. So only 1 intel, sadly. But interesting. Squiggles McGee 8. I gave them crap, but look at that. They're level 48, so can't give them too much grief. Anyways, that is all for me. As per always, if this video entertained you, educated you, or made you chuckle, or somewhere in between, cancel that creator code, do renew it, go throw it into Brawl Stars and all that sort of stuff. Speaking of Brawl Stars, I have a club. The club is very, very small, but we are crushing it in the club league. So if you're looking for a club, do come join us. This is that club. I know, cross videos, multiple games, not the best thing, but I have really enjoy the daily aspect of Brawl Stars and simply going out and doing my daily quests and doing that daily club stuff. And I really do wish there was a boom pass, but that is not the case at the moment. So I resort to sending my submarine off on the deepest dive where there's a question mark. Anyways, that is all for me. Like I said, trying my darndest to do a live stream for Christmas simply because I want to hang out with all of you, but I got to do 2 separate Christmases, mine and my wife's. So anyways, that is all for me. Too much blabbing, too much grump. Hopefully you guys have all of the coffee. Send me a coffee emoji down below. Hopefully it'll help fix my mood. I'll talk to you soon. As per always, I'm zmoT. Thanks for coming in. Peace.